right, here we are, NAMM 2015 Musician News. We're still here at the Arturia booth, and we're still talking to Glenn Darcy, one of the developer designers of the new Beatstep. And why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Okay.
Nice. I like the slim.
Yeah, it's a nice thin design. The Beatstep Pro is a follow-up of our very successful Beatstep. It's basically where the Beatstep's idea was, let's build a pad controller, knob controller, and add a sequencer to it. We've kind of taken the reverse on this, is let's build a sequencer and we'll add a pad knob controller to it. So you still have the pad knob control, you have a control mode here, and you got pressure and velocity sensitive pads. You got 16 assignable switches and 16 assignable touch encoders. So I can touch them and I'll see the value of each of them in the display over here. So outside of the control mode, then we built 3 sequencers. 2 are standard like note style sequencers, and one of them is a drum sequencer. And the drum sequencing is actually 16 tracks, because you've got, kick, snare, hi-hats, all that kind of stuff. Each one has its own track. So with each of the sequencers, they can all go up to 64 steps now. They can be independent links. This one can be 7 steps, and this can be 32, and that can be 64, and they'll all loop around and kind of resync at the end of the thing. The knobs can control pitch. They can also control velocity and gate time on them. You can chain gates together to get longer notes on it now. With the drums, you get to shift time, so it'll shift the timing forward or backwards from the hit. You can also do velocity and gate time in the sequencer. Each of the sequences can be muted individually. You've got 16 of each sequence, 16 here and here and here. They're not shared within one project, and you've got 10 projects. So you've got 160 sequences that this will store internally for each one of those things. So 160, 160 plus 160. For performance controls, we wanted to do something that would change up your pattern a little bit. So we've got a loop roller here, and it's a touch strip. So as the sequence is playing through, I can hit this and it's going to sit there and loop on an 8th note or a 16th note section in real time. So I can kind of play that while it's going on. We also have swing, and it can be per track. It can be globally overall the whole thing. We've got a randomizer, which is a cool function. What it'll do is it'll take your current sequence and add little bits of random pitch or timing into it. And you can set how much randomness and the probability of how often it will happen. So you can sit there and dial them in. You can have crazy amounts of random. But yeah, you can put, go totally ridiculously random, but have it only happen every now and then. So your sequence all of a sudden changes. And it can be per track or globally for all of them. So we'll just add little nuances and feels within the thing. Now, as far as connectivity on this, on the back panel, we've got CV gate and out and velocity outputs on each one of the sequences. On the drum sequencer, we've got 8 gate outputs. So you can trigger modules from your modular with the gate outs. We also have a regular sync input and output for a clock sync. And then with a DIN adapter, you can make that into Roland's old style DIN sync as well. And just with software, you say whether it's a 1 pulse per quarter note for like an LFO clock sync, or 24 PPQ for Roland DIN sync. It's also got MIDI in and MIDI out on it as well, and USB in and out. So it can work standalone. You just use a USB charger, work by itself with just CV and gates or MIDI or whatever. Or it works with your computer.
So release date?
Probably in April. And 249.
249. Well, there it is. The Beatstep 249, and we're hoping to see it in April. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Sure thing.